Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
Your favorite podcast is Critical Blast.
Hey, we want to shout out to our sponsors, Daytona Beach Comic Con. If you are a fan of comic books, if you're a fan of comic book conventions, and if you like meeting comic book creators and getting comics and comic-related stuff, then you need to make your plans to attend Daytona Beach Comic Con. This year's show is September 9th and 10th. Silverline will be there, so you should make your plans to be there too. We'll see you there. If you like comics and find yourself in the Orlando, Florida area, doesn't everyone come to Orlando at some point in time to see the House of Mouse? But when you're here, you need to make it a point to visit Coliseum of Comics, especially the one on East Colonial Drive. They carry Silverline comics, even a limited edition Coliseum of Comics version of our comics. So, when you go, be sure to ask for Silverline Comics and tell them we sent you. OCD stands for Orlando Collector Deviants. OCD, Steve and Trish. They're a family of geeks who promote geek things, particularly those around the Orlando, Florida area. They're big supporters of Silverline, and we think you should be supporters of theirs too. Go give them some love. If you are an independent comic book maker and you need to get your independent comics made, you need to look no further than Kablam Digital Printing. They print our books, and they do a bang-up job. They're not only trusted by Silverline, but many, many independent comic book makers. Head on over to kablam.com and see for yourself just how easy it is to have your comic printed by them. And tell them Silverline sent you.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
And I'm Scott Wakefield, host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham, where we talk about comic books and all kinds of great storytelling, sometimes with incredible guests. And we want you to join us Wednesday nights from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you there.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline. Welcome to Silverline Silver Sunday. We're having some problems with one of the links, so I'm trying to re-add it. I've never had to do that before, but it looks like it got re-added. So, fantastic. So, welcome to Silverline Silver Sunday. This Sunday, May the 28th, 2023. How is everyone doing today? How are you, Tommy?
I am pooped.
It's the holiday. Why you pooped?
Too much exercise. Good things.
So I'm going to try to talk you into going in the morning.
Well, I don't. We'll find out by the time the show's over.
Because we're going to do Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
That way I will have done Thursday, Saturday, and then Monday, and then Wednesday. It'd be every
I went
day.
today.
I know you went today, but I didn't.
You were supposed to. You were too tired.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we went to a new place today, bike riding or not a new place, but a place we don't normally go in.
I know, and I wanted to go.
12 miles today. 11 something miles.
Wow, nice.
In the woods. Came back here and fell asleep a few minutes ago.
Hey, you need a nap sometimes. It'll wear you out.
Oh, yeah.
It's not unusual. Well, I will take a nap afterwards. Look at that. Vic says, Buonasera, Silverliners. What is up, Vic? And I don't understand this. I'm not losing this time, Roland. I don't know what that means, Vic. What are you playing? I don't guess I know.
We're not doing
trivia. No, it's not a trivia night tonight. No. No. And then he says, did me asking about how to do the string
Oh,
of
wait a
pearls-
minute, wait a minute. You're not losing tonight. So, is he trying to? Does that mean because it's just me and you, so you would get it, that I'm automatically going to lose? All right, Vic. You're. I was going to say we should probably, since we're kind of slow tonight, we could probably get you on the show, but I don't think so now.
That sounds like a jab, right?
It does.
Oh
wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure where everybody is. I didn't hear from. Is this when Haley said she was going to be gone?
Yeah, she just posted a little while ago saying she's
okay.
She didn't realize it was Sunday.
Yeah. You know, they make these things. They've been making these things for.
You mean Sundays? They've been making Sundays for quite a few years now.
For quite a few years. So how can your mind slip that it was Sunday?
Oh, you know they
also make calendars.
My past month has been, I don't know what day it is.
They make calendars, so you can get a calendar, and Sunday's always on them. Sometimes it's on the left, and sometimes it's on the right. It depends on the calendar and the calendar maker.
It moves across for day to day. It goes.
Yep, that's right. Yep. So I don't know where Pete is. So now I know where Haley is. Haley is slipped her mind. So I don't know where Pete is. Pete is probably sleeping again. Because it is like 2 a.m. over there for him. So, he says being the first on the chat. Okay, yeah.
Okay, sure, that's what you mean.
Yeah, because he posted it at like 7:36. Get a timestamp on there. Carrie says, "Hail, gents! What's up, Carrie? Good to see you. Stop by. We're going to be talking about adaptations." A little bit. Vic said, to me asking about how to do the string of pearls adaptation influences all. Not really, Vic, or at least if it did, it was subconsciously because really what influenced is that I just, I don't know if I posted it yet. I just wrote a blog on my personal blog about adaptations. It was a blog I had started some time back. And and so I just posted it recently. And really what it amounts to is that, okay, so there's actually another reason that made a lot of this come up, but I won't go into that. Good grief. Carrie says it is 1 a.m., but I'm here.
Where's Carrie?
Carrie must be, okay, 8 and 10. So Carrie must be in the UK. So glad you joined us, Carrie, from wherever you are. Anyway, long story short, this came up because I wrote the blog. We were talking about adaptations, and Carrie says I am in the UK. Yeah, very very cool. Carrie, go knock on Pete's door and tell him to get up.
Yeah, because the UK is about this big, right? So
right. So the thing about it is, and when I first started off. Right. I don't think any, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think when creators start off, they say, hey, I am going to go be that person that does adaptations. I don't think anyone starts off that way and says, I want to go be an adapter. Right. But looking back over my career, I discovered, I've done quite a few adaptations. I've done adaptations of classic books. I've done adaptations of movies. I've done adaptations of games. And it's like, wait, how did that happen? How did I end up doing so many adaptations? Doc says, hail, gents. Hail, Carrie. Hail, Doc. Glad you're joining us. Carrie says, I don't know who Pete is or where he lives. I will look for a person if I knock on everyone's door asking for some guy called Pete. The only thing I know is Pete lives in London. And Pete's one of the people who should should be in a box like right here, right now, talking with all of us. And he wears a hat that says
just a penciler.
That's right. But yeah, so Tommy, you've done some adaptations too, right?
Really just one.
Just the one?
Yeah, just the Scum of the Earth way back in the day. I don't think I've done an adaptation of anything else.
I found my Scum of the Earth
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was
Oh,
flipping
boy.
through looking for something else, and I came across it. I'm like, oh, I need to bring this out and show Tommy.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, now they're having
I've
now the
got
chat's
some.
having a chat.
Do what?
I said now the chat's having a
Yes, sir.
chat. um,
But I don't think I've done any. I wasn't hired to do
did you not
anything
do
else.
any Planet of the Apes stuff?
Mm-mm.
What about Mortal Kombat? You didn't
Nope.
do any of the Mortal Kombat?
Nope. Nope.
Well, that's
Nope.
Star Trek.
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
Did you do any of the other full moon movies that Malibu did?
Nope.
Huh.
I'm trying to think. No. No. That was it. The scum of the earth. That was about the only thing.
So I know Steven did. He
He
so
did some.
he did some covers for what was that movie he did? Doll Man? No. Did you cover? I know Dave Dorman did covers for Doll Man. Carrie says she's about 2 hours away from London. Well, just take the.
I can give you Pete's address if you want to run it.
She says, Pop's telling me Porky's. Then he said you wasn't well, Doc. Pop's
What?
telling me Porky's.
I don't know.
Porky's was a funny movie.
Yeah. Which one?
The first one was
Yeah,
funny.
they were all kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, yes, chat's just having a chat here.
We can
Doc
just
says,
reference-
sorry to hear that you haven't been feeling well, Doc, but glad to hear you're better. You want me to
need to
walk
get a
to
room.
London at 1 a.m. Don't y'all don't have cars and buses and trams and
No, they're still
Don't you
using
have
the horse and
tubes?
buggy over there.
horse and buggy?
Yeah.
Don't they have a tube? Isn't that what they call it over there? A tube.
tube?
Take the tube. I think that's what they call it.
Now Stephen did what I
Oh, check this out. I like this. Porkies is a slang term we use in the UK for telling fibs, lies. That's funny. Do you know what my mom used to call those, Tommy? You might have heard this.
what R-rated movies?
No, Wendy. She said, you're telling a Wendy.
Telling a Wendy.
Yep. A Wendy, which was just a slang word for
That was
a lie. You're telling a little lie. Yep.
You're like long-winded, telling you're just rambling on, trying to get out of something.
Yeah, if you're Wendy.
All right.
Oh, Doc. Oh my goodness. I would absolutely love to do that. In fact, that's actually one of the ones on my list. So Doc says,
Adapt to an
Doc says, y'all
album.
get on target here. There's one adaptation I would love to do, Queen's Rock Operation Mindcrime. That is a fantastic album. I haven't listened to that in some time, but I remember at one point in time, I actually considered doing it and then just kind of borrowing, what do they call it? Not borrowing,
Homaging,
sampling lyrics as you go through in the story. Yeah.
Isn't it an album?
Yeah. It was called concept album. Yeah. Another one I like, Doc, since you mentioned that one, another album I would like to do would be Planet P Project. I don't know if you're familiar with that one, Doc. You ever heard that one, Tommy? Planet P Project, called Pink World.
Another Queen's writing song?
No. This one's very Pink Floydish. Planet P Project was Tony Carey.
They did one of The Wall, didn't they? Pink Floyd's The Wall?
They did, yes.
I think I've seen a comic of Pink Floyd The Wall.
Yeah.
I don't think I remember it being very, very good.
Yeah.
I don't think I read it. I think I've seen it. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable here.
You've seen the movie?
No, the comic book adaptation.
Oh, I didn't know there was a comic book adaptation.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie The Wall? You saw the movie The Wall, though, didn't you?
Yes, but I probably saw it with you in college.
You probably did. Yes.
Some bootleg version somebody had when we were watching Clockwork Orange or something like that.
We probably will.
You were making me watch all these dirty movies. I was just
Clockwork Orange and The Wall. Those aren't dirty movies.
Making us watch dirty movies. Clockwork Orange was kind of dirty. All the naked scenes and stuff.
I don't. I've only watched it the once. I can remember.
Clockwork Orange only once?
Yeah. It was violent. I remember it was very violent.
No, I remember. Well, I don't want to mention other people's names. I remember watching it several times. And
Not with me.
Well, no, some of the our friends, our mutual friends.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I saw one. I think the reason I didn't like it was because it was so doggone violent.
It was fun.
Yeah. It's kind of like, did you ever, in college, you remember watching The Faces of Death? You remember that video going around?
Oh,
that videotape?
I always thought that was. I don't want to cuss or anything. I'll BS. I know. I don't like. I never watched any of that stupid
BS, which is exactly what Vic says his mom calls it, except a little less nicely.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I do.
Carrie says she doesn't drive, so she's not going to London.
All right. Well, thank you, Carrie. We appreciate that. You want to? Hey, if we give you his phone number, it won't be long distance for you. You probably could just call him for us.
Say, Pete, wake up.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's not long distance for me to call either. So,
let's see. I like this. Doc says I may do it first and show it to Jeff Tate and get permission afterwards.
Ask forgiveness after.
Right. Yeah. Ask for forgiveness. I have autographs of Rockenfield, DeGarmo, and I don't think it was Jeff Tate. I'm trying to think of the other guy's name now. A long time ago, they opened up for Ozzy Osbourne, and this is when Ozzy Osbourne had Jakey Lee, and I was sitting like in the stands on about the 10-yard line kind of thing. And they came after their set, they came out and stood there watching, and I'm sitting there, and they're right down there, and I'm like, well, crap, I gotta ask them for their autograph, right?
They're watching the show. They don't want to talk to you.
That's pretty much true. They did not want to talk to me. But I got them to give me their autograph.
Street Fighter. Steven did some Street Fighter stuff. I remember that.
He did. Did you do some Street Fighter stuff?
Yep. No. No.
Yeah. He says the original lineup was Lightning in a Bottle. Yeah, I saw them in about 80.
Lightning in a Bottle. That was
Queensryche. 84, 85, something like that.
No, that's that girl singer group that I'm a genie in a bottle, baby.
Spice Girls? No.
I'd draw that. That'd be good. Probably make some money doing that.
So Vic says I'd turn the Damian Marley Welcome to Jam Rock albums into a hell of a comic. I don't even know what that is. Do you know what that is?
No.
Yeah.
Jam Rock.
Well,
I think he's insulting us again.
I think Damian Marley is a I don't know. Let's see here. Thank you, Carrie. Does Roland have the same thoughts on John Wick? About doing an adaptation? I guess lots of action in John Wick.
In John Wick, like an adaptation of a video game, basically to start off with. It's not, but I mean, it might. No, I'm just talking about it's just nothing but a guy running around shooting and killing people all the time. It's just a video game.
Yeah.
With a little bit of a story just to tie it all together.
Yeah, it all goes back to his dog.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a John Wick. He says no, that is too violent. No, I don't think so. I think that John.
Back to the Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, the John Wick violence is actually kind of funny.
It's kind of cartoony funny.
It's kind of cartoony funny because he's always shooting under his arm, through his under his legs.
Yeah,
it's just funny.
Throwing guns and catching and slapping.
Yeah, and the Clockwork Orange, that was to me. I haven't seen it since 1987 or 8 or something like that. I remember watching it then, and it was like it felt like very real violence and
that's the difference with me and I love can't admit it on nobody's listening. It's just between you and I, right? Yeah, I like wrestling. Yeah, I've told you I like wrestling,
right,
but I hate boxing. I don't want to see people really punching each other. I love the fake stuff.
Right. Yeah. So Doc did a face palm here. I'm guessing he face palmed because we didn't know the music. Never needed to watch Faces of Death. I worked in trauma medicine for years.
Yeah.
You probably did. That was a tough.
I don't need to see that because that was supposedly real stuff.
It was supposedly all real stuff. Yeah, and the one scene that still churns my stomach today, and it's not. I mean, it's just.
I've watched zero, so
Well,
I can honestly say I've
there
never
was a
watched.
scene, and it
No
doesn't
one
sound
would.
horrible when I tell you about it, but there was a scene, and it was set in Asia somewhere, I don't remember, in which they eat monkeys over there. They took a live monkey and put him on a like a round table. I realized my camera's too close, and they entrapped him where it was just his head poking out, right? And they gave everybody little hammers, and they basically beat on his head until they killed him. And then they opened up the skull and ate the brains. And that was
yummy.
just, what's that?
Sounds yummy.
It was just, but it was for me, it was
disgusting.
stomach. Yeah, it was stomach churning to watch.
Yeah.
Why? And I understand. I love hamburgers. I understand that a cow has to get killed to eat it. I'm okay with that. I didn't grow up on a farm. My family are farmers. I've seen all that happen. And that's they're not cruel when they kill them, right? That just looked like cruelty before they ate it, and that it kind of churned my stomach.
A lot of those, because I mean they made a ton of those movies, or a ton
They
of
did.
compilations.
I only ever watched the one of them,
and they, a lot of accidentally filming something where somebody gets their arm ripped off, or
right?
Let's make a movie of this. No, that's disgusting.
Yeah. Vic says,
now
I
let
want
me
to throw up thinking about
Jason,
it.
the Voorhees or whatever, ripping somebody's head off. Now I'll watch that
because it's not real and it's kind of funny sometimes, right? John Wick was fighting Jason Bourne, and they rolled down a hill, disturbing the campsite of John Rambo. Things got bad. Yeah.
And then make that into a comic book.
Carrie says, my days. Now you want me to phone a man I don't know. Hi, Pete. If you watch replay, I'm the woman these two tried to inflict on you.
Yes, that's exactly what we're asking.
Yeah. And Pete won't care. He knows. Yeah, Tommy put you up to this, didn't it? Pete is pretending to be Doc. There he is. Yeah.
That's
true. I'm also, let's see here. Vic says, I'm also a wrestling fan. AEW and Impact are there when I'm stuck at the table.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
watched the cool Vic. I watched the cool. I'll try to post it somewhere on the thing. I guess I didn't send it to you, Roland. I watched I forget which wrestling organization this was, but it was the Invisible Man versus the Invisible Sam. Did I
send it to me?
That was so funny. So the referee was actually doing a match between two invisible characters, and he was going through all the, and doing the countdown, and then pretending like he got thrown up against and then the table broke in half at the end.
Right. Yeah, that was funny.
I love it.
Yeah, I watched that whole thing. Because I teach at Full Sail. Sometimes they don't want me to say that, but I teach at Full Sail, and they did the NXT wrestling here. Yeah, they film it. All that's filmed by the students. They do all the work. Doc says, "Hey now, I'm a one-of-a-kind mutant prototype." And Vic says, "Oh, GCW."
Huh? What?
I don't know. It looked like it should be CGW, Comics Greatest World, but that's probably not what he meant. All right, so it's funny that the Doc mentioned that, because music was not. Music wasn't even on my list of things to talk about as far as adaptations, but that Doc's mention of it just set me off. Operation Mindcrime would be great, and I also think.
But you're talking about making a comic based off of an album, I guess.
Yes.
Those albums that has a theme running through it, right?
Yeah, it's they're just called concept albums, right? It's like it has a whole story through it. And Vic says that's who it was: the Invisible Stan versus the Invisible Man.
There you go. I was just looking it up, and he found it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Doc almost went to teach a SCAD, but
watch it right now. Watch it when we're done. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, so where are you teaching now, Doc? He almost went to teach a SCAD. Yeah, SCAD's a pretty good place. Jeremy, one of the guys that worked for us, is a SCAD graduate. I want to say somebody else went to SCAD. Haley might have gone to SCAD. I can't remember for sure. But yeah, that was pretty funny. You know, they did. Didn't they do Angry Birds? So let's shift from that to like those kind of video games. What about the goofy kind of video games like Angry Birds?
To make
Didn't they make a
well,
cartoon?
okay,
Adam says, "Hey, you guys, what is up?" Adam, thank you for dropping by.
I want to back up a half a second.
Okay.
We're talking about making adaptations, adapting into making comics.
Into comics, yeah.
Okay.
Any other outside media making a comic book of it. Basically, what do you want to make what would you like to make a comic? Is there any their albums that you would like to make a comic book out of, Tommy?
No.
Okay.
No, absolutely
I
not.
knew that was going to be the answer. You don't even want to make a Leo comic adaptation?
No, because he's just doing what did we talked about that last week? He's doing
parody.
No, he's not doing parodies. He's doing covers.
Covers.
Yeah.
You don't want. I wonder if he has to classify them because of the law. I wonder if he has to classify them as parodies in order to do so many of them and make money off of it.
Well, you've heard me playing while we're riding.
Oh yeah, you said he had like 30 albums,
30, 40 different albums, and he puts out crazy. One every couple of months. He puts out another one, but I mean, he covers all kind of weird stuff. Little kid songs and things like that.
Yeah. Pop says, "Hey yo, what's up, Pops?
Pops in the house. Hey yo,
thanks for yoing us." Doc says the album is a concept. It is geopolitical criminal psychodrama. I'm trying to remember the story. Basically, they turn a nun into a drug dealer or a prostitute, and the dude has to try to go save her. And I don't remember all of it now, but it's good. It's really good.
This is the album.
Yeah, that's the album. Yeah, and then Planet P Project.
How close are you paying attention to the lyrics?
Well, you have to pay kind of attention to.
No, I don't. Half the songs I really love, I'm not paying attention to what they're actually.
It's funny. I wonder if my daughter's listening to this because I tell her because when we listen to music, I'll say, and she's like, well, "How come you don't know any of the words?" I'm like, "I just know the tune. I can tell you the tune." It's like she can memorize all the lyrics, but not me. I don't.
The songs. I mean, I'm sure that the singer songwriter they wanted to tell some sort of something behind this stuff, but I'm not.
Yeah. Doc's correcting me. Doc, it has been a while since I have listened to it. Sister Mary was a prostitute turned nun. Nikki is a drug addicted hitman manipulated by Dr. X. Yeah. It's a good album. It tells a really cool story, but the whole album you have to start on side A and listen to it, and they sing different songs, but each of the songs advance the story.
I think I'd rather watch a movie.
Not if the music is good and Queensrÿche is good. So
no, I mean you skip every other one. You go, this is a good song. That song sucks. This is a.
They're all good. That's the thing. They're all good.
Sure they are.
Yeah. So Planet P Project is a story of, I don't know if Doc's heard that one. It's basically the story. It's a post-nuclear or a post-apocalyptic story. Basically, where the nukes go off. I think the nukes go off, or after the nukes go off, one of the boys gets power.
Really?
Yeah, he gets some kind of powers, and yeah, I gotta go listen to these concept albums again.
All right.
And see, even Doc says it. Tommy says they're all good. You don't skip them.
Okay. I'm gonna.
This is another music one, ain't it? This is. Yo, Adam. Hey, Vic. I don't know what. I guess Vic, you're asking about the Planet P Project. Yes, that's music. Okay, I missed some. There's just a bunch of haze up here. Doc says he teaches at a small private academy, the Bartlett Academy of Fine Art. Very cool. There were comics based on the Wu-Tang Clan from Devil's Due that look interesting. Wu-Tang Clan was a band, right? They did was that a song? I remember all of it going around. I think it was a band.
I think you're right. So I just pulled open LMFAO, sorry for party rocking. I think there is an ongoing story through all of these songs. The first one is Rock the Beat. That's probably good. And then the next song was Sorry for Party Rocking. That's probably got a story going. And then the Party Rock Anthem, I bet that's probably a continuation of them partying.
Probably.
So
wait a minute.
Know it. That's obviously a continuation of their story that they're telling.
So LMAFO is a band?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. I believe you. Vic says it's a rap group, but close enough. It says, Tommy, check out Eyes of a Stranger from Operation Mindcrime and you'll be hooked.
What?
Eyes of the Stranger is the name of the song from Queensryche.
Well, I know Queensryche, but I didn't know that they actually told a story in their song.
They had two concept albums. The other one was Operation Mindcrime, and the other one was. Now the first album was a mini album, and it was not. It only had like 4 songs on it, but that's if you remember, Tommy, I used several Queensryche song titles.
Yeah, you do. You stick them
for my story titles for Cat and Mouse. The Lady Wore Black is a fantastic Queensryche. Empire, that's the other one. Yeah, Empire. Yeah.
But would you want to make a comic?
It's not as good as Mindcrime, but it's good. What?
Would you want to make a comic book
of the first album or
any of it?
Yeah, Operation Mindcrime. Yeah, because it's good stuff. Yeah, and you can, when they're playing the music, you can imagine a lot of stuff going on visually, and of course you can enhance it. Yeah, Lady Wore Black is great tune, absolutely. And it's the name. I think I can maybe even have it handy enough. I can probably show you. I used a lot of Queensryche songs for story titles back in the day when I was doing this.
But that's not adapting the.
No. That's not adaptations. That's just kind of borrowing the story titles. Must have been issue. I think it might have been issue 3. You can't read it real well, but
yep.
Lady Wore Black, and that is from Cat and Mouse issue number 3. For those of you who are interested. Belgareth the Sorcerer. James Kolchaka sometimes releases comics in the liner notes of his albums. Now that's kind of cool. I'll have to check that out. Doc says I started something up. Monkey versus Robot. I read who's the local guy who moved up to South Carolina and did the monkeys fighting robots. He did a cat and mouse drawing that was really nice, and I don't understand why it hasn't gone in any of our Kickstarters because it is so cool. I need to see his art before I can remember his name. What the heck is his name? I'm feel so bad because I can't remember it. This was available a couple of Jamie Jones, right? He does the baboon.
That's a good cover.
Yeah, this is nice piece. And that's Cat and Mouse with the baboon. So yeah, I love Jamie Jones's work. Back in the days before Roland had colors in his pages, yeah. It costs a lot. It costs a lot more. I know. Doc says, awesome. Yeah, Doc, if you go back and read, it's funny because if you go back and read, particularly that, I think Demon's Tales and that first run of pretty much all my comics now. But if you go back and read that first run of Cat and Mouse, you can tell who I was listening to by the titles of the stories because they were song titles. And usually song titles of the music that I was listening to the time I was doing that writing. I want to do a Ben 10 adaptation of Alien Force. What does that mean? A Ben 10 adaptation of
Ben
Alien
10's
Force? Ben 10's a cartoon. I love Ben 10, but how do you do a Ben 10 adaptation of something else? What does that mean?
I
That's
guess
like
in the
saying I want to
style
do an
that-
X-Men adaptation of Superman. What does that mean? Right?
Yeah, I'd still would like to do some Star Wars stuff at
Yeah.
time.
Well, there you go.
Interested in that.
So here's the question though. Would you like to do you, Tommy, as a creator, would you like to do Star Wars, say an adaptation of The Empire Strikes Back?
It's already been done. No.
Or what about this new TV show that you like so much?
Some
Alderaan?
of the Mandalorian stuff?
Mandalorian, yeah.
No, no. See, I'd rather do something new. I don't mind playing in that world, but I'd like to do something new. I don't want to keep doing that. And you know what the problem is, and I've said it a million times on the show, is I see with Kablam, I see so much stuff that is, that I'm tired of seeing the same stuff over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So I really like to see something new. But if I see another Frankenstein book or another telling of Dracula or something like that, it's gonna drive me crazy. But I don't have any problem with it. I mean, great. Let's people are doing whatever they want to do. But it but for me personally, I don't want to keep. I think I'm overdoing stuff that's already been done, unless it's something special, I guess.
Yeah.
And what's special? I don't know.
Well, and I think that's part of the question is what's special. Part of the thing I think you see adaptations of so much public domain stuff is number one, it's free, and B,
people are doing it because it's already got a name, so it's easy to sell. That kind of
easy
thing.
to sell. Everybody, hopes that I'll take it to a show and all the the Frankenstein fans will.
They're buying them. That's for sure. I mean, but personally, I'm just talking personally and stuff. Yeah. So like what I've like, if all of a sudden Disney says, I want to hire you to ink or draw on your little kid hero style of a version of the New Hope of the Star Wars things, like no, it's already been done a gazillion times. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
If you could use those characters to do something else, that's fine. I think that'd be fun to do.
Yeah, I think some of it is too. They're not so much anymore, particularly with movies. I think the problem with movie adaptations is so many people see movies today, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Particularly if they're already kind of fans, but when you get an adaptation of a book. And
I did do an adaptation of something.
What'd you do?
In Zomboy, my book, in the third issue, I swiped from Arnold Schwarzenegger in what was that movie? I forget what the movie.
Doc, I'm gonna boot you.
Do what?
Doc he's making snide comments about.
Oh, yeah. No, I swiped a whole scene from a comic. I mean, from a movie. That was the Arnold was in.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I like that scene. I was trying to. I needed an action scene. I was watching a movie at the time. It's like I'm just gonna. So I fast forwarded. I'm like I'm gonna draw this. Fast forwarded, draw. So it flowed really well with the comic. I was,
Well, and I think that's this is a cool idea from Doc. He says I really do a black and white comic that's all pencil sketches, not renders, without inks, like the old Sherlock Holmes illustrations. Yeah,
it'd be pretty.
I think that would be pretty cool. The only thing is, would you letter it? Because to me, lettered pencils look a little weird. Or would you find something? Yeah. All right, I'm booting you, Doc. Was what he said. How about them dogs? Because first, Tommy, he said, "Are the Razorbacks still in the SEC?"
You watched.
We got beat. Yeah, we got beat yesterday.
That high school plus football game that you saw.
You're right. Yeah. So that would be my question: is could you make it look okay in comic book form?
I've seen some penciled letters.
Well, Jim Lee did. What was that? Hush. Didn't they do Hush in pencil form? It was all Jim Lee's pencils and letters. I think so. And of course, I think so. I think it was
remember.
Hush. I think DC did a special version of Hush that was just penciled and it was lettered. And it looked good. I mean, it was Jim Lee, so it looked good.
Yeah. With all the
so
that he would do.
Yeah, I think the only thing in my mind's eye, I just see the pencils and then these bold letters.
No, you'd have to gray them. You'd have to make them the same tone as the pencils.
The pencils.
Otherwise, it would stand out kind of too much.
And Doc says I've seen some done with ink letters and it looks okay. So yeah, I think that would be the main thing is you just make sure that it looks okay and doesn't stand out too much. And then Vic says, yeah, movie adaptations were for people who couldn't buy the tapes. So yeah, and I think that's one thing to consider. I mean, think about it. You mentioned Frankenstein. Tommy, have you ever read Frankenstein the book?
No.
See, I think there's a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people like that who.
I own a copy, and I know I've started it 2 or 3 times.
You probably were assigned it in high school, right?
Yeah, I think once maybe in high school, but
Yeah.
I never finished it in high school. And I think since then, every now and again, you go, this is something that you need to read, and then you pick up a copy somewhere in a used bookstore, and I probably could go find it in the other room, but I've never finished reading it though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the Lord of the Rings books I've read all but about this much of the last book. I've never finished because it's just so long.
Well, I used to laugh at Steven. You probably heard this before. I used to laugh at Steven because I said Steven's read the first 20 pages of more books than any person I know. When we were roommates, it wouldn't be unusual that Steven would go to bed and fall asleep. I don't have a book right now. He'd fall asleep, yeah. And
yep.
And the book would be on his face.
And the thing about it is, I can't start over because that's the
thing about it is he wouldn't
continue
pick it up again to read. He just let me pick up a new book, right? And I'm like, you started more books than any person that I ever know, and it's just that's weird.
Well, that's really familiar with some of the projects that he wants to work on sometimes. He's got all these great ideas.
Stop that.
Steven, if you're watching, you should join in.
You should. Yeah. Now that he's got internet piped out to him.
Yes. He's got fast internet.
There's someone down at the end of this road riding a bicycle to get the internet to all of them.
Pushing the bits through the line.
Doc's having typing problems. He says, I would letter it in pencil.
Yeah,
so let me try that in English.
Better.
I would letter it in pencil.
Or if you did you didn't have to do the letterings, full 100% black. You could do them like 50% black.
Yeah, well, you do it on layers, so you could
the pencils.
Yeah, you could letter. You still letter it normally, and then turn it down. So one book. Hey, Vic says, "Hey, I only accidentally insult everyone who worked on Cat and Mouse." There's still a list for you, Vic. There's still a handful of inkers that you can run down the list. So one of the things that I would like to do, and it's been made into a movie. And the thing about it is, I asked my students about it, and none of them know that it was a book initially.
It's a book made into a movie.
It was a book made into a movie, and that is The Last of the Mohicans, right, by James Fenimore Cooper.
Yep.
And as a book, I really liked that book, right? Now, is it the kind of book that I would recommend? Not really, because it is early American literature, and it takes the main character, Natty Bumppo, it takes him 20 pages just to cross a stream, right? Because he looks at all the pebbles
really
and
deep.
yeah, it's just like, so I don't know that I would recommend it to just like regular reading people. I mean, just people who don't really read. You have to write, you kind of have to like that stuff. But I enjoy it, and so I would kind of like to make that into I'd kind of like to adapt that into. It's probably been done before, and I know the movie has been done.
Yeah.
But for me, that's a book, and I think it goes back to the idea you were asking, like, why would you want to do it? And I think it goes back to the idea that most people haven't read that book, and I would say the older people die, the fewer and fewer people who are alive have actually read that. Excuse me. The same as even, for Huckleberry Finn. I wouldn't want to do another adaptation of Huckleberry Finn. I've already done that. But I think there's a handful of books that I wouldn't mind doing that I think would be fun to do because people don't read them, Can you think of any books?
That's what I was staring. I was thinking.
I thought you might be going to try. Can I see my bookshelf from here?
No, I'm just trying to think. I mean, there's a few books that me. I can never say I'm a big. I'm slow. I'm really slow when I read books. I don't know why. I just super slow. It's not that I can't read. I'm just really slow.
Yeah.
And it takes me forever. But you got like somebody like Barry, he'll read a book and while he's pooping.
I can't do that. I'm not that fast.
Yeah, super fast.
He's fast.
He's not skipping.
My mom is a fast reader.
He's not a speed reader. He's really quick at reading the book, and it's not like he's doing every other word, every other page, every other paragraph. He's reading.
Yeah.
And no, the books. Most of the books that I've read that I've really liked, they've already made comics and movies out of it. So
that is
for whatever reason, it just happens that I like
that is one of the problems. Hey, have they made an adaptation of? Oh, actually, I kind of know one. They made a movie of it that was okay.
What about movies into comics?
That'd be fine.
Just books, not don't limit from books to movies.
What movie do you want to make into a comic?
I don't.
So my problem is most of the movies that I can think of off the top of my head were based on something before.
Based off a book.
Right.
Or a short story of some sort. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That were pretty good. See, but like one of my all-time favorite short story is called There Will Come Soft Rains by Ray Bradbury. I wouldn't want to adapt that into anything because it's visually boring, right? It's just the story of an automated house after the nuclear war, right? Everything in the house continues to function as it should function, right? Everything's on a timer, so everything, breakfast is fixed, it's cleaned away, it's put away, everything is still running after the Holocaust, but everybody's gone, right? I say the Holocaust, I mean a nuclear Holocaust, right? And so it's a good story, but I don't think it would work as an adaptation.
Your and my reading are two different things. I read technical.
You read technical stuff, yeah.
So I would like to see a comic book adaptation of how to program in JavaScript in the year 2023. That'd be a great comic book.
How to back up servers to the cloud.
That's right. How to make stupid WordPress work correctly when some stupid plugin breaks, and and reading 3 days worth of tech files to try to figure out how to fix some technical something or another. No, but see, I enjoy reading that stuff. I will sit there and read the actual text.
Yeah.
But as far as movie and I really like audiobooks. I'll listen to an audiobook when I should do that more often because I do at work and when I'm at the house when I'm actually doing comic book stuff. I've got the TV going, so I'm not listening to. So I probably should put on an audiobook or something. Yeah. But at work, I always listen to podcasts and whether stupid stuff, news or whatever. But I should put on more audiobooks. I should be a better person. I should be a better person than actually listen to a book. I probably got 2 or 3 years worth of what's the audio book for Audible.
Audible, yeah.
It's Barry bought me a couple of times, so I probably got about 20, 30 points worth of audio that I go grab. I think the last audiobook I read was or listened to. Don't you hate it when somebody says they read an audiobook?
Because they didn't read. Yeah,
They didn't read.
They didn't read an audiobook.
But they claim that as reading.
I still think it's a good thing to do.
It is a good thing, because if that's the only way you're going to do it, then it's better.
But you're not reading when you're listening to an audio version. Yeah.
Yep. But I think the Martian, and then there's a couple of books.
Yeah, did you read that? Or I
listened to it.
Yeah, that was good.
That was pretty cool. And the movie wasn't the same, but it was still fun.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to remember,
but it was pretty good. It was fun. Because all the tech stuff in it was really cool.
What was the one that had the kid? Ready Player One.
Yes. I was about to say that was one of the ones I listened to that one. Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. Of course the World War Z one.
Yeah.
All that, which I think I watched the movie before I read the things, thinking it was the same stuff. That's not. It wasn't. It was not the same.
I watched the movie, but I don't know what it's based on. It's based on a video game, isn't it?
What, World War Z?
World War Z?
Isn't that the book?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
I did watch the movie.
The book is a bunch of little short stories.
I did not know that.
In the movie. And so the movie's a story, right?
Yeah.
A long story. Yeah. So.
All right, a couple more comments here. Doc says Stephen Bruss Dragera books would be amazing as graphic novels. Yeah. Vic says everybody's seen the Sweetie Time movie, but no one have read the book. That's why I'm wanting to do the String of Pearls adaptation. Okay.
I didn't do either of those.
Me either.
Yeah.
Doc says Maltese Falcon. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yep. Vic says, I want to make an adaptation of this bad movie called From Hell It Came. Tommy and I both can tell you about doing adaptations of really bad movies.
Look, I was just hired to do one. I didn't have anything to do with it but the inking.
Yeah, but
I still got pages, by the way, if somebody wants them.
It's Scum of the Earth.
Yes, Scum of the Earth.
I used to.
I'll send you a book.
Before BJ made me change out all my boxes, I used to have a bunch of old boxes, and I ended up with 4 or 5 of them from Malibu. I don't know how I ended up with them, but and on the end of one of them, Scum of the Earth, because what they would do is they would rip off the covers and tape them to the end, so
that's right,
know
the box.
That's what's in the box, right?
Yep.
And so I used to have a box that had one of the covers for Scum of the Earth on it. BJ kept saying, "Get rid of that, get rid of that." I said, "Tommy did it."
That's right. No, we can't get rid of that. That's important.
Yeah. Yeah. I cannot think of any movies. What about video games, Tommy? I know you play some video games. So, are there any video games?
They've already the ones. But you mentioned Angry Birds. That's not. They've got comics. Angry Bird comics.
Yeah, I think so.
They made a Doom movie. Remember? They did with The Rock. It was all right.
Yeah.
I think I've seen Doom comic books.
They made a City of Heroes movie. I mean, a comic.
Comics
not a movie,
based off of your game.
Based off the game that I still like to play. Yeah, City of Heroes. I would like to do one. I played a game recently, and I'm about done with it, called New World, in which you're kind of a frontiersman, and you're dropped into a new world, and you have to go. You're on missions, but you've got you got swords and old-fashioned swords, and you can imbue them with gems and magic, and you have special muskets, and you have clans. There's a couple of clans that fight against each other for control of the territories.
They've made Silent Hill.
It's very visual.
Remember? Did you ever play the Silent Hill games off the PS 1, 2? I can't remember.
No.
That was a great. I used to play that. Stay up way too late playing that game.
Yeah, that is a problem with games sometimes.
Made a movie. They've got some comics of that. Comics were kind of silly.
They should do. Brett plays PUBG.
PUBG.
They should do a PUBG game, a comic.
I can't reach my laptop without shaking all my stuff. You should see if there is a PUBG comic. But that's kind of just you're dropped in a world and you just kill everybody to the last person standing.
Oh,
But then
what was Hunger Games?
Hunger Game? Yeah.
Right?
I don't know if there's been any Hunger Game movies. I bet there have. I mean, movies. Yeah. I misspoke. Hunger Game comics.
PUBG Battlegrounds is coming to Webtoons.
Oh, so, that's the comic strip thing with just scrolls, right? Webtoons.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. PUBG sponsored me to make comics. What the heck? I'm just Googling it and finding these things. Well, I'll be. See, we could have done that. Now I can't close that window. I don't know why.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not. I mean, it's like, what is the PUBG is kind of the same game as the other one. That's that same one, the Fortnite kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's the same. Yeah. It's the same game basically.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Except for the dancing, you got all the dancing in Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean it's all they're all there's another one.
Is there any Fortnite comics?
I don't know. Let me see. 14.
I'm too far away from my laptop. I can't press the keyboard without shaking everything.
Oh, it's an ITE comic.
And then they made all the silly of course they made all the Donkey Kong stuff in the Mario comics and movies and TV shows and all that kind of stuff. Those have been very popular. Sonic.
It would appear that Marvel made a Fortnite comic.
Did they? And just look at Mario. He's
sure did.
Donkey Kong, all that kind of stuff.
Marvel made a Fortnite comic. That's interesting. Yeah, you can get it on the Kindle for $1.99.
Whoopee! And
I think part of it is you got to be one of the first to react if this is something you want to do. Here's a news announcement of Webtoons and PUBG. I got to send this to Brett, see if he knows this.
We talked about it the other day. How about D&D? All of the adaptations in the movies and the comics.
Yep. Yeah, you watched did you finish it?
I didn't finish it. I've started it. I've played it 2 or 3 times now, and I just get a little further into it, and I'm like, I just can't watch this.
Yeah. It doesn't.
It does seem a lot like you're actually people, playing it because it's not serious. It's silly,
no, it is silly. Yeah, it's not a serious movie. Yeah, and I like the
just like when you're playing. I mean, I love playing D&D. It's
Chris Pine. That's his name.
Yes.
Yeah, I like him. I thought he was good.
Yeah. And then the girl, I forgot what her name is. The girl, the actress from the Fast and Furious movies.
Yep. She was good. Yeah. It was a popcorn movie. It certainly. It's not going to get any Emmys.
You know what you need to watch, y'all out there? You're going to laugh at me on Disney Plus. Watch Crater. Get through it to the very end, and then you're going to cry. Yeah, because it's so sweet at the very end. I started it twice. Okay, I'm home alone for the past couple of weeks, so I've gone through almost everything.
Except Jojo Rabbit.
I didn't watch. No.
You need to watch Jojo Rabbit. One of the best movies the last 5 years, dude.
But Crater. Watch Crater. It's about a bunch of kids that are on the moon, and one of them's dad died, and so he gets they're sending him off to go to another planet where they can, like, the Earth is half blown up, kind of thing. I don't know what's going on with the Earth, and it just seems really silly Disney kind of thing, and it's real kiddie a little bit, and then the very end of it, golly, it's so like.
Did you watch The Boy in the Striped Pajamas?
No.
Yeah, it's a story of I think I can't remember. It was a young German boy who would always go to the fence and play with this and talk to this kid who had on striped pajamas. Right, basically, it was a kid in a concentration camp.
Oh, well,
Yeah, and
it reminds me of that story with the flipped world thing. You remember where the two worlds were upside down, the two planets were side, and the person would talk to the other planet, and finally had to jump across to the. What was that movie?
That. What was that movie? Yeah,
or was that
I
a
remember
cartoon?
that.
Anyway,
Vic says, "I'd love to do a comic adaptation of the old Sega game Comics Zone. I feel like it's a perfect fit." I don't remember that
I'm
one.
not familiar with that one either.
PUBG.
Oh, bless you. Oh, gross.
Sorry about that.
Oh, look at the boogers. You need to. There you go.
Got a napkin there somewhere.
There you go.
PUBG is a knockoff manga app. No, PUBG is was a computer game.
What it stands for. Yeah, it's kind of like Fortnite. You're in your groups. You all get dropped down randomly on a map, and then you try to find your buddies and kill everybody else. Kind of.
Yeah, you try to kill
like 100 people at a time. And
it's a last man standing kind of thing.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fun.
And my phone just broke. Okay, well.
Sorry.
Yeah. So the New World was the only video game I could think of that I would again, for me, because it has a lot of interesting visuals. And you could there's a lot that you could do with it, I think. You know what,
but it's a world. It's a world thing. It's not like a yeah. So I mean, that would it even need to be an adaptation? Because it's just you telling a story about you surviving.
Well,
it's a video story.
I mean, a lot of times these people that own these things, they want them to have adaptations because that's think about it. If you put out a comic book called New World, and people are like, hey, this sounds pretty cool. What's New World? It's a video game. Oh, let me go check it out. It could improve their sales. I don't know. It's a good theory. It's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. I'm trying to think of other video games though. Do you remember the old Commodore games? Did you ever play any of those?
Commodore 64 games?
Yeah,
well, that was all. I had an Atari 800.
They all
had the same games that came
similar
out.
games, yeah. Do you remember the Oregon Trail? You remember that one?
Yes. I'm trying to.
I never won that game. My people always died. I hated that game.
That's that's not like a Sim City kind of game, right? Where it's Sim.
Not really. SimCity was far more complicated than that. SimCity might be an interesting comic book. Let's see if there's a SimCity comic.
You would think somebody would have done something with that.
You would have think so. SimCity.
Just the
Sin
name.
City comics. They're trying to give me Sin City.
Yeah, there you go.
Sim City from Aardvark Vanheim. Dave Sim. I do not see a Sim City comic book. That is interesting. There's a Sim City comic strip. That's pretty interesting. Cerebus did the Sim City, and it's supposed to be it's a spoof of Sin City.
Yeah.
If you look at it. Yeah. That's pretty funny. So let's see. I guess that's yeah, I'm not gonna put that up. Vic, we're positive here. I like Dave Sim. I like Cerebus.
Oh, yeah, don't do
that. Yeah.
Vic, you're in trouble now, bud.
Yeah, no, I'm just not gonna put his comment up. I'm trying to think. So What are we going through? We're going through. What about board games, Tommy? You played any board
Oh.
games?
Well, you could that'd be a cool. Could you do a Monopoly adaptation?
Sure.
What would that be like?
Well, you would
Going
just have
around
to.
collecting, stuff, trying to. That'd be more like Trump, Donald Trump taking over New York, right? Would that be?
Well, I think so. All right, let's talk about Monopoly then. So what you'd have to do is you'd have to have multiple characters to begin with, and obviously you would want to make sure there's something visually representing the player pieces. So one of them would have to have maybe a thimble outfit.
So it'd be
right?
like Clue. Is this
Yeah.
what because they made Clue movies, right?
Yeah, those were good.
Sort of similar to
I only remember one.
No, there's two. Wasn't
Really?
there? No, there was one that had the 4 or 5 different endings.
Oh
Remember?
yeah, it had multiple endings. I remember that. That was good because it had Tim Curry.
Yeah.
I like Tim Curry.
For some reason, I think they made another movie out of that too.
I don't know. But you could everyone could kind of start off. They'd have to be walking down the same kind of path, and I'm gonna look what I'm gonna get. I've got this.
Right.
I'm gonna build houses and.
Hold on, I'm trying to look up something.
Yeah. Vic says Adam and I know a guy named Joshua Kimball who would most definitely do an adaptation of the Risk board game. So yeah, you could do
Risk,
an adaptation of Risk. That would be more like a
just a military thing.
Yeah, kind of a military, nation against that. But you got to remember, it's not the traditional nations as we know it. It would be players, right? So you'd have to figure out how to get that done. I think you could do it.
Yahtzee. Boy, I'm just flipping through board games.
I'm not sure Yahtzee would be tough.
You could do. Oh, I bet one would be kind of cool. It'd be more of a kids thing. You could do Mousetrap. Where
let's see, Mousetrap. I'm on Google Road Trip. That would be a fun one because they made a movie of that.
Did they?
Uh-huh.
Stratego. That's the one I was thinking. I was trying to think in my head that I love playing, and I've lost almost every time because I'd always think too hard about it. Whoever I played against, it didn't matter. I would always lose.
I do not see Mousetrap comics, so that could be cool. Yeah, Vic says if you can make something like Trump's work, you can make Risk work. Yeah, I agree. Trump's because Trump's is
just the generalness of the outline of the thing, and then write a story.
Yeah, I think you could. I think you just have to just sit down and figure out what it is you want to do. I think Monopoly would work as well. I think there's a lot of games that you probably could.
Connect 4, Trouble. This would be some silly.
Yeah, Stratego would be interesting.
Yeah, a military kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I think there's a lot of those kind of games like that you could figure something out and make it work. We just kind of figure out how to. Like any story, you got to figure out.
Oh, here's one. This is perfect that they did. Battleship. You remember they made a movie?
Oh yeah, they made a movie. Yeah.
Nothing to do with the board game, but if they sold it as if it was.
I know they really did.
Life. I bet they made a Life movie because that seems like it'd be perfect for just a general Scrabble.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I want to buy this game. One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Okay, cool.
Tim TK probably has it.
Card game that you can. It's got normal stuff, but you can get dirty cards that have.
Exploding Kittens.
Oh, no, I've never heard of Exploding Kittens. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna look at it.
Cards Against Humanity.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Have you played that?
I've been playing Exploding Kittens.
Never heard of Exploding Kittens.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Against Humanity. Played that a couple of times where we threw some dirty deck inside with the regular cards.
Ooh,
You get some nasty stuff in there.
I'll bet. Vic says, I'd love to do another Villains and Vigilantes game adaptation. Yeah, I'm
They
trying to
did a
remember.
movie, didn't they?
Villains and Vigilantes?
I thought so.
No.
Surely.
No. I'm
I
trying to
know they
remember.
did comics. They have. I think I've got a bunch of them.
Did they? I don't remember. I'm having problems remembering the comics. Vigilantes.
It had some of the main characters that were in the actual.
I do. I remember. I got these.
And then Champions, right? You know,
Champions. Yep.
Yep, because
Yeah.
we print that stuff for.
Yeah, that's right. Eclipse did these. Yeah. I don't know if I had the whole run though. It looks like there's more than I remember. But yeah, I got a bunch of these. This is a 4-issue miniseries. I'm sure I've got all those, but I had more than 4 covers.
V&V, you're talking about?
V&V, yeah. It's possible.
I would like a Connect 4 movie, please. I don't know what it would be.
Yeah.
Let's do a Connect 4 movie.
Vic said Eclipse did the first miniseries, so there must have been more. AKA The More Respectable Man's Heroes World. I don't care. You're welcome to be uneducated. That's fine. That's up to you. But Super World was by far superior. And anyone who played those know that is the case.
I like
GURPS.
Yep.
Yeah.
I couldn't get anybody into it. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the GURPS stand for? Generic playing,
universal.
Yeah.
Role playing. Yeah. Yeah. Some of our college gang played it, I think. I can't remember too much though. Trying to think. BJ made she put something else. She asked me about something else, and then she put the images on there, and I've forgotten what I told her. I said, I'm gonna forget what you tell me. Oh man. A TV series. Yeah, okay, TV series. It was a TV. Huh?
A TV series made into a comic?
Yes. And I gave her one. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Basically, this story is Batman. Have you ever seen Person of Interest?
Yeah, I love.
That's a great show.
That is a good show all the way through. Batman. I mean, there was some silly episodes, but it was really a good show.
But it's just Batman, if you think about it.
Yeah, that's true. And the guy was Batman, wasn't he?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. Yeah, you confused me there for a minute. I'm like, wait, no, he wasn't.
He kind of looked like the guy that was playing Batman.
Yeah, he looked like. He did. No, I really like Person of Interest, but I remember like 2 or 3 episodes in, I'm like, this is just Batman. This is pretty cool. It was a great show. I think that could be a good adaptation.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I like that one. I'd go for that one. That's a good one. See, you convinced me of one.
I convinced you of one. Yes. It only took an hour and 13 minutes to do so.
That's right. I like that one because I really like that TV show. That was a good TV show. All the way through to the end too. You watched it all? Yeah, it was all of it was. I mean, it was, of course, what it went 4 or 5 seasons or whatever. There's going to be some crap in there, but
of course,
it was good. It was good.
Yeah, we were sad when it ended.
Yeah. It's like, oh man.
Yep. Vic says I never actually tried Heroes World. Not Heroes World, Vic. Super World.
Super World.
It's a difference.
But there was a Heroes World.
Heroes World was a distributor. Yeah,
but wasn't there a superhero game called Heroes World? Or was that one of the? You remember Marvel and DC had their own version of their.
Oh, I never played those.
I played the Marvel one. It wasn't that great.
Yeah, I never played those.
Like it.
I did play Champions. I played V&V.
Yep.
And I played one called
and then we played our bastardized version of
Superheroes 2044. which no one's ever heard of. I used to say it was the first one, but Superheroes 2044. But someone else told me no. It doesn't predate this. As a superhero science fiction system said in 2044, it was done in 1977 by Luzaki. I had that, and the thing I got it when I was in high school, and I didn't know anyone to play with me in high school. No one, because it was high school, right? And by the time then I got to college, then we discovered Superworld.
Everybody was playing something.
Everybody had Superworld, so we played Superworld. Yeah.
Did you ever play any of the James Bond role playing? That was fun.
No, it sounds like it'd be fun.
You played 007, but you played there was always a luck. One of your attributes was luck. Because James Bond's just lucky.
He is lucky.
Yeah, so you had a luck attribute. I remember that was kind of funny.
Did it have Bond girls in it too?
Oh, shoot, I think we played a campaign or two. I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Vic, one of the Vic says I found PDFs for it, $5 a piece. So Superworld, here I come. Vic, in one of our campaigns, one of our cat and mouse campaigns, we actually had the character sheets for a couple of the characters. I forget who they were. I want to say this was for Cat and Mouse 2 campaign. It was one of our stretch goals. And it might have been Tooth and Nail. I can't remember. I don't remember for sure. I'd have to go back and look.
Vic, are you still putting together a quiz? The what's the company we work for?
Malibu.
Yeah, are you still putting together a Malibu quiz for us people that work for Malibu? Is he writing it?
Superworld. He says that was before Vic.
BV.
Vic probably should put a quiz.
I thought we told him to work one up.
I think we did. Yeah, Vic, you should do that. You do that. Put together a quiz, and then and drop me an email and let me know, and we'll try to schedule something. We'll see if we can't get Barb on here.
Yeah,
and Roberta, of course.
I won't get too many of those. Just unless talking about the books I worked on.
Yeah. The thing about it is,
you two were in the office.
Malibu
maybe get Tom. That'd be cool to get Tom on that.
Tom would know all the answers.
Yeah,
that would be the problem with Tom. He would remember them all, and he remember them all. He'd remember the dates. He would. Don't you remember, Roland? We had that conversation. On it was like, no, Tom.
He'd pull out his notebook. He's got it all written down.
Yeah. We used to accuse Tom of sitting at home at night, with a notebook in his hand, going, "Oh, that's a good one. I'll have to say that one, right?" and then memorizing them all and bringing them to work the next day and using those on us.
The zingers.
Yeah. All his zingers were something else. The thing about it is, I can only remember a time or two, because Tom wasn't my direct boss. Chris Holm was my direct boss. But I worked more with Tom prior to becoming an employee. So I didn't work with Chris Holm that often. And so when I went out there, it was a little awkward because I had questions. I would often just go to Tom because he was not that Chris wasn't hard to talk, wasn't easy to talk to. He was. It's just that my relationship with Tom was that way. But there were a few times over the course of the few years, there was once or twice, I can think of like twice, that I was on the receiving end of Tom's ire, you can say, and that is not pleasant. Just let me tell you, it is not pleasant. You receive that once, and you're like, this ain't happening again. I'm going to fix this. Yeah, it was once was in person and once was on email. So, yeah. So Vic, no, I haven't. Vic asked me, Roland, have you found anything about RA? Is he okay? All of my emails to RA bounce, and I don't know. I should give you his email address, Tommy, and let you try him. Yeah, all of my emails to RA bounce, and I don't know why they're bouncing.
Barb doesn't stay in contact because they're working together on her book.
Oh, I hadn't thought about Barb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. I could ask Barb. Yeah.
If something bad, we would have heard through the.
I would think so. Yeah. Plus, I think I saw him post on social media here. He gets on Facebook like once a month, and I think I saw him post something about a signing. So, all right, Tommy. Well, I say let's call it a night here. I got 9:22. I think we've about adaptationed it out.
Yes, there is one adaptation that I would be a part of. It was the person of interest.
Person of interest.
Persons or person? I can't remember.
I think it was person singular. Yeah.
I like that one. That one was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a good one because she was always trying to catch him, and he had his little system, his people helping him, and always getting beat up. That was a good show. I got to go watch it again now.
It was good. It was pretty
good.
Had the dude from Lost in it. Remember
had to do from what?
Lost. You remember one of the guy? One of the.
I didn't watch Lost.
His. Oh, you didn't? Mm-hmm. Oh God, that was so good until the very end.
Yeah. No, I didn't watch Lost.
Yeah, that was a big lie. It's just, nobody be mad at me. I really liked Lost, and then I got so mad, and then I just got so mad at it. We would have so many conversations every week about Lost. Well, this is what's so neat. This is really, and then it turns out it was all a big stinking lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't know what they were. They didn't have an idea what they were doing. They were just making it up as they were going.
Yeah.
That'll be next week. We can talk about Lost.
Vic says, make mine Silverline and purchase your own copy of the Thumbelina adaptation Tiny on the next Kickstarter. That's right. Tiny is available on the next Kickstarter. Tommy, where are you going to be? What's your next appearance?
I got a show on Saturday in Tampa from 10 to 4, and I'll be sitting next to you.
All right. We will be at Tampa at the Tampa Comic and Toy Show.
Yeah.
That's in Tampa, obviously.
Tampa, Florida.
In Tampa, Florida. And then the very next day.
So who else is going to be with us there? There's a couple of
Jose will be there. Shoot, I just saw a list earlier. Jose is the only other Silverliner I know.
Yep.
But I think
Martin's going to be there.
Who?
Martin?
Yeah, Martin's going to be there. Yep.
Yeah, I think he's sitting next to me.
So probably we'll have Crystal afterwards because Martin
no, I'm not going to Crystal. I am not going to Crystal. If that's it, then I'm just going. I'll see y'all later.
Okay.
Crappy Crystals. Oh no, is this live again? No, this is just between you and us.
Yeah.
I'm going to Crystal. He likes crystals.
He does. Well, and he likes to eat crystals because he doesn't have one down by him. So when
there's a reason because it's.
Well, you went to White Castle the other day.
Yeah.
And what I hear, they're no different.
That's not.
I haven't been there, so I don't know.
I've been to White Castle a couple of times while I've been in New York. My dad's from Brooklyn, and so I remember going with him a couple of times way back in the day. And then when I was up there visiting Jimmy Palmiotti and stuff, and then I'm like, this is just crystals. This is the same thing.
Vic says, keep your mouth shut. I love crystals. Let
me give you $0.25 and you can go buy you 15 burgers.
Yeah.
Stupid crystal. Can you cut it off?
All right.
I don't want to get us in trouble.
So Tampa is on.
Personally, I don't like crystals. That's it. Not Silverline. Silverline loves crystals.
Hey, I would love for them to be a sponsor. So Tampa is on Saturday, and the next Sunday there's going to be a conglomeration of us at Lake Collecticon, which is up in the Leesburg area. If I remember correctly, it's going to be me and Haley and Brent. BJ will be there. I think John Crowther might be there. I'm not really sure about that. You're not going to be here the next 2 Sundays, right?
No, I'm going to be in Mississippi.
All right. Next week we're going to be talking about do-overs, and we'll just let that we'll cover the whole spectrum of do-overs. Don't forget, on Tuesday night we have the Silverline show on Tuesday.
What are they going to be talking about?
They're going to be talking about The Witcher to Dark Souls comics based on games.
Oh, we just did that, so now they got to come up with something else.
They're gonna talk about. They're gonna go in more depth since they're more gaming geeks.
Yeah.
And then on Wednesday, the Whammers are going to be talking about keeping it moving. How do you move a story along? What does a good tempo look like? Keep the flow, and what happens when the action stalls. So that'll be a Wednesday. And other than that, oh no. Tommy's got me. Remember to make mine Silverline. Good night, everybody. Where's my ending?
Hi, I'm Bill Black. I created FemForce. But you know what? Today, make mine Silverline.